What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Keelan, this is Kill the Credits, and today I'm excited to sit and talk to you guys about Together. Now before I jump into it, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video afterwards if you enjoy my review. And with that all out of the way, let's go ahead and get into what I have to say. So my girlfriend and I just went and saw Together a couple of days ago. I sort of had an idea of what I was walking into. I saw small clips of the trailer online and it was definitely giving me the Substance vibes, which if you haven't seen the Substance, it came out last year. I would highly recommend seeing it, and I also did a review for it that's already on the channel, so if you want to go ahead and check that out, I'll put it in the card up above. But for my girlfriend, I didn't tell her anything. I actually marketed it to her as a rom-com, which I'm sure she knew I was lying because we only ever go see horror movies and we rarely watch rom-coms, so I knew she probably figured I was lying, but I told her that anyways. When we got to the theater, I hid her eyes so she didn't see any posters or cardboard displays that they had out in the lobby. I wanted her to go in completely blind. And I definitely think that was the best move to make because I wish you guys could have seen her reaction to things, but we both were pleasantly surprised and extremely happy when we left the theater. So from the jump, I really appreciated how well the film introduced the characters. Within just a few scenes, you already had a good idea of the emotional weight that both the characters were carrying and a better understanding of the dynamic between the two. There's a subtle realism in the way that it handles emotional conflict, and I think a lot of people are going to find that relatable. I know that I did. And Franco does a great job here, but the standout for me was Alison Brie. Now I didn't realize that they're actually a couple in real life, but it makes sense because that sort of chemistry that they have definitely bled into their performances. Even when their characters are clashing, there's such a natural flow to it that it wasn't difficult at all to stay engaged. Now let's go ahead and talk about the whole reason that we all check out these movies, the horror, and specifically the body horror. Together really does not hold back, even crossing lines that the Substance didn't even cross. I mean, the body horror in this shit is absolutely sick. There are some sequences that are so grotesque, it had the entire theater audibly gasping and making other noises that I don't even think there's really a verbal description for, just like natural and audible sounds of disgust, and it was awesome. The practical effects were very visceral and effective, and the film had the type of gore and horror that lingers even after the credits roll. And another thing I really liked about the movie is that it didn't drag. A lot of these artsy horror films take forever to get going, but Together did not have that issue. They did a really great job balancing between the emotional buildup and then the harder horror elements. The pacing felt really smooth the whole way through, and the mystery unfolded in a way that kept me locked in the entire time. And I really loved how they fed you small bits and pieces as the story progresses, and then by the end of it, it ties together in a way that, while not completely explained to you, feels extremely satisfying. You're left with just enough answers to feel complete, but still curious. But that being said, I do have one gripe. The very last scene really did not work for me, and I'm talking the very last scene shot in the movie. We're talking like the last frame. There's this beautifully haunting sequence right before the final scene of the movie, and it's great, and it feels like the build-up is heading somewhere big, but then the final shot happens and I feel like everybody in the theater kind of was just like really? That's the way you guys chose to end it? It just fell flat and it did not work for me. My girlfriend and I agreed that they had something a lot more impactful sitting right in front of them, and I feel like they just went with the very basic, bland option. I'm not saying that it ruins the movie. I really don't think it does by any means. It's certainly still a strong entry into the genre, but it definitely left me wanting a little more from that final sequence. But all in all, I definitely recommend checking out Together, especially if you like body horror, and trust me, in my opinion, this is not a wait till streaming type of movie. You definitely want to go to the theater and get that packed out crowd, or even just like theater experience where you've got a couple people around you, just to get the laughs, the audible gasps and confusion and shock. You want to have that energy connected to the memory of this movie for sure. To me, it just adds a whole different level to the experience, and I think you should get that. But now I want to turn it over to you. Have you seen Together? What were your thoughts? Did the body horror go too far for you, or did it scratch that disgusting scab you probably have? And are you as excited about this body horror resurgence the way that I am? Definitely let me know in the comments down below, but please no spoilers. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more horror content and reviews just like this one. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.